Hey guys, what is up? Happy Banjo Dude here, getting all Khan Academy on you guys to teach you some basic music theory for banjo. And the very first thing we're going to learn about is the names of the notes. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to find any note anywhere on the neck of the banjo. And you might notice that I don't have a banjo in front of me, but I have a piano. And the reason is because the piano is a much more visual way of understanding the names of the notes. And we'll go ahead and apply what we learn to the banjo. So if I look at this piano here, I notice it's just a set of 2 black keys and 3 black keys and 2 black keys and 3 black keys. And if I just go ahead and start from this note right here, I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then this key, well, it's right in front of these 2 black keys, which is where we started. So really, there's only 12 notes in all of music. That's the very first concept we want to learn when we're learning music theory. The second thing is just a little terminology. If I start from this first key right here and I just want to go next door, right here, well, we're going to call that a half step. And that's the same thing as going up 1 fret on the banjo. So the distance between 1 key or 1 fret, we're going to call a half step. And just like you might imagine, if I want to go up 2 keys, so from this key up 1 and then 2 keys, well, we'll call that a whole step. And that's the same thing as going up 2 frets on the banjo. So just a little terminology for you guys. Now, if any of you took piano lessons when you were younger, you'll know that this note right here, right in front of the 2 black keys, is called C. And it sits right in the middle of the piano. It's the very first note you learn when you start playing piano. And C is the starting point for all of our music theory. Think of it as like home base. Everything is going to kind of revolve around C being the starting point. And the next white key, as you might imagine, is called D, and the next key after that is called E, and the next key after that is called F, and then G. Once we get to G, we're just going to start back over at A, and then go to B, and then C again. So you'll see that it's right in front of these 2 black keys. It's the same note as this C right over here. It's just going to sound a little bit higher, but it's the same note. Now let's go ahead and look at the distances between the notes. So if I start from C, I'll see that there's 1 key in between, and then another key to get to D. So the distance from C to D is 2 keys, or 2 frets on the banjo, and that's a whole step. The distance from D to E, the same thing. There's a black key in between. So distance from D to E is a whole step. Now E to F, notice there is no black key in between. So the distance between E and F is only 1 key. It's a half step. That's really important that you remember that. For the rest of your life, just like the earth revolves around the sun, the distance between E and F is a half step. Now let's look at F and G. Well, there's a black key in between, so that's 1, 2 keys, a whole step. Same thing for G to A, same thing for A to B, and then B to C, again, there's no black key in between, so that is only a half step. Really important to remember that the distances between the notes E and F and B and C are half steps. Now let's go ahead and take what we learned and apply it to the banjo. So here is a diagram of the first 4 frets on the bottom 4 strings of a banjo. You guys know that the banjo is tuned G, D, G, B, D, and usually we don't fret that top drone string, so we're just going to learn how to fret notes on the bottom 4 strings. So now I'm starting from the note D right here, and I want to see how far is it from D to E, or where is the note E? Well, D to E, that's a whole step, or 2 keys, 2 frets. So I'll count 1, 2, and there is the note E, 2 frets up from the note D. Now if I want to get to the note F, E and F, just like the earth revolves around the sun, the distance between E and F is only a half step. So I'll go ahead and place F right there, up a half step. Now I could go up a whole step from F. I could go up 2 frets here, but I can see, oh well, G is just the next open string down, so I'll just go ahead and play that G note right there as an open string. And if I want to get to A, well, G to A, 2 frets again, I'll just go ahead and put A right there, 2 frets up from G. A to B, again, another whole step, 2 frets up from A. This note right here is also the same as the open B string, so if you actually play the 4th fret on the G string and the open B string together, you'll see that they're the exact same note. Now I'm on the note B and I want to get to C. Well, B to C, just like E and F, it's only a half step, so I'm going to put C up 1 fret from B. I'll start back at the beginning, C to D, that's a whole step, so I'll go ahead and place D right here. And again, we have a double note. this D right here on the 3rd fret of the B string is the exact same as playing the bottom D string open. Now I'm on the D string. Well, we already did the D string. It was the first string we did. So D to E, well, that's a whole step right there. And then E to F, a half step. So this is like a roadmap of the first 4 frets of the banjo. And you should be able to find all of those notes. So for instance, if you play the D string and then play the 2nd fret, that's the note E, and the 3rd fret is the note F, and so on. And by doing that, you understand the concept that E and F and B and C are half steps. Now you guys might be wondering, what are those notes in between? And we're going to go ahead and cover that in the next video.